We good?
Yep.
Okay. Episode 9, Dan and Slick, a podcast. Slick, you ready to kick it off, baby?
Let's go.
All right, segment 1. Where am I wrong? So, love is in the air, you know? It's that time of year. Well, actually, the flowers aren't really blooming. It's kind of the end of summer, so maybe it's not that time of year. But the idea of unconditional love, to me, has never really made that much sense. I remember having arguments about this with my ex-girlfriend. It's like, if I get fat, if I lose my job, if I don't have the means to provide, and you don't either, then it's not likely to stick around. So, till death do us part, what's the other part of the marriage, to quote there, and sickness and health. I think that's a lot of BS, so I don't know where am I wrong, Slick.
Well, so I think the idea of unconditional love is something that people are in love with. I don't think people are in love with the realities that come along with unconditional love, if that makes sense.
Ooh, Slick, speaking the truth. Don't let your girlfriend do that one. No, I'm kidding.
You probably agree.
Okay, well, hey, that's a segment.
But I don't know. Then there's also this for me, I start thinking about if people do have unconditional love for certain people, I'm thinking specifically pets, where it's just you can't. There's nothing a pet could really do that just make you not love them anymore. So,
right.
but maybe that's just because there's nothing to really. Maybe it's because we view them as an animal. So it's they're not really choosing what to do right here. So maybe Dan, the more we learn about how we don't have free will, maybe that actually widens our capacity to love people, because it's it's not that person's fault. It's accumulation of environmental and deterministic.
Another outcome of the beauty of the argument. I haven't made that argument. I haven't made the where am I wrong free will is a bit of an illusion argument, but I'm saving that for later. But yeah, I think it's but we don't make a vow like that to our pets. We make it. I guess we go into the whole concept of marriage and the flaw there.
It's so
to our parents or
it's if you have to make a contract, then it's not much of a not real. You have to sign here.
The logical fallacy one, but to be continued there.
Exactly. Okay, so here's the situation. You have a faithful believer in a religion and an atheist. They're discussing the foundations of faith and whether faith is a useful thing or not. And the believer says, "Oh my God, how could you say that my faith is incorrect? You use faith every day when you're in your investment job and you're taking a chance on new relationships. Everybody uses faith. How could you possibly say it's bad?"
Yeah, I don't know if there's one specific name for it, but the first thing that pops in my mind is I don't think that the atheist would argue that the faith in something is an issue, belief in something, but the belief in something that there's no tacit evidence for, that's where the issues may arise, and that's where the fallacy may rear its ugly head. So, you have to have, to get out of bed in the morning, you have to have faith that, I don't know, your sink is going to work in the morning. So I guess I don't have a specific name for it, but
yeah,
you can give me a few more clues.
Yeah, you're basically on the right path here. The term is called equivocation, so it's where you take a word like faith that has many different meanings and you kind of stretch it to prove someone else wrong when it's not really the best, the most true use of the word that you guys are discussing. So in that argument, they're talking about a religious faith and criticizing that, and the quote was taking the word faith in other contexts and saying, oh, well, it's useful here, but we're not talking about that. We're not talking about investing right now.
Right.
So yeah.
I like the equivocation, so it's kind of making the.
It's where you're not. It's where you start off talking. It's we're going to talk about A, and then it branches into using that word unclearly.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting how. this isn't. I guess my thoughts on religion are. Probably not limited to, probably more than 20 seconds given their just due, but yeah, religion seems that words like faith and grace have kind of, you gotta go and continue to redefine and then make sure we're all on the same page on what these words mean. Similar with, I think that's a huge issue with a lot of our political discourse too. It's interesting. All right, to be continued. All right, new segment 3, the butterfly effect with Dan. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be bad. So we're going back in time. I'm a big counterfactuals guy. So the counterfactual, based on our last discussion with the VPs, 2016 election, Democrats decided to take more of a risk on a VP pick. They go with, say, Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders as opposed to Tim Kaine. What are the butterfly effects of that? Or maybe it's just the same outcome, I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, so I think the same.
There's a lot for one segment. I'm just realizing this now, but we click play and see what happens.
Yeah, so part of me wants to think okay, yeah, if she picked Bernie as the VP, that would get out the youth vote, and part of me just thinks young people are just way too lazy and just they're not coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm kind of of two minds here. Yeah, actually, honestly, I have to look at the stats of voter turnout though. Was that the thing, or was it just was it the Republican high voter turnout in rural Rust Belt states?
Yeah, I think it was more that. I don't really know.
It was an electoral college victory completely, right? Popular vote was 3 million higher. That's a lot of votes more.
Yeah, but the electoral college was pretty sound. It wasn't one state. It wasn't 2000 election. It wasn't just Florida. It was
yeah,
it was 300 to 240. It's not a huge win, but it's not 280 to 260 or something like that. So
true.
So maybe this is another null VP argument from Slick. He's just not on VPs.
I just don't. I don't know if they really sway things all that much one way or another. But it's interesting.
You can do analysis on why things are the way they are all you want, but then there's so many.
It's like a VP is like your insurance policy. It's you're probably not going to need it, but if something happens, then you want a really good insurance policy. So think of presidents who had to step in. It was LBJ. He had to step in after. Who stepped in after?
JFK. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just happened to be a really solid dude.
Yeah.
But imagine if there was someone who I don't know, someone else.
Right place, right time. Harry Truman was a VP. He ended up serving 2 terms. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This one's fun. So
more fun than ideas.
Yeah. Speaking of having common and shared definitions, your magic wand is you get to change what the classic hamburger is on menus. Yeah. So I feel no one really orders those anymore. You're not a restaurant unless you have a variety of hamburger add-ons and additions and changes. So you get to change what the classic hamburger is in every restaurant in America, in the world.
First thing is you gotta add jalapenos. Jalapenos is like the new lettuce. Just jalapenos on everything. If you get a burger, you gotta be able to handle jalapenos. You gotta be able to handle spice.
I love that. Jalapenos are the new lettuce.
And second would be you need cheese above and below the burger. That's just day one stuff. So I'd say jalapenos and then the cheese. It's gotta be above and below.
Now is that in addition to what a classic burger is, or is that
in addition to? Well, you get rid of the lettuce. The lettuce doesn't have a lot of lettuce.
Tomatoes.
I'm not a tomato guy. I think tomatoes are too. I like onions. Onions are good.
Getting you clearly here. It's bun, onions.
Yeah.
Jalapenos.
No.
Or jalapenos on top. Okay, so cheese, burger, cheese, jalapenos, bun.
Yeah, that's it.
that's the classic.
That's where you start. Absolutely.
And you build from there.
You build from there. Yeah. The condiments. Yeah. The maybe some bacon on there if you're feeling crazy. It's maybe a little blue cheese. Cheese plus blue cheese. I'm a blue cheese guy. Blue cheese is maybe blue cheese dressing of some sort. I think that works. Yeah.
So you go to McDonald's, you order a Big Mac. That's what you're getting now.
Oh yeah.
Default.
Default. I think I ordered a Big Mac like once. Isn't it three decker patty? A 3-decker bun?
Maybe I'm a bad American. Maybe I'm a good American. I've never had a Big Mac. I don't know what that means.
I think I ordered it once. I remember I was like, I have to have a Big Mac, right? It was
maybe I should go get one. I have to do a big workout before I do that, though.
Yeah. I remember the ingredients. Yeah, it's 2 all beef patty, special sauce, sliced cheese, right? Pickles, onions. I mean, they got that in my brain still. So I need to get your opinion on that. All right. But yeah, what do you think about the classic burger? I guess we didn't even get your opinion.
Oh, I just wanted to hear yours. So that's all good.
Yeah, you just want to hear mine.
I'm not trying to get canceled for burgers right now.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hot take from me. I didn't think I'm team jalapeno. I think we need to put a little bit more pressure on ourselves to get a little more spicy. You're down in Texas, look. You know what it's like. You got a little more spice. You got to put a little more. I think if you start eating spicier foods, I think it has ripple effects into other areas of your life. You're like, ooh, like take a little more risk. You're like, ooh, maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll say this thing. It's kind of a little. It kind of loosens up your hips a little bit. Loosens up your gums. You start to speak a little bit more,
I like this
purposefully.
Theory. I like this theory.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I'll pitch it in my next Where Am I Wrong? We need to be eating more jalapenos as Americans. That would be my first move as president. Jalapenos in every school lunch.
Oh man, do some insider trade. I'm gonna buy a lot of jalapeno stock right now.
Jalapeno stock to the moon.